tearing up the road, ripping up concrete.
Filled up the pipe, made a complete plug, and
the clogged and crumbling sewer pipe here, only part of the problem.
There was water standing on the floor and toilet paper flowing in the water, so I knew immediately that it was a sewer backup.
This is what property owner Bill Devlin walked into 3 weeks ago. Sewage backed up in his basement, toilet paper stuck to the floor.
And when it goes wrong, you find out in a big hurry.
It took Devlin more than 2 weeks to get everything clean, decontaminated, and inspected. He had to throw out a furnace, a water heater, and replace some of his tenants' possessions.
The repercussions are serious and significant, and the dollar value is beyond what anyone would imagine.
Devlin says altogether it'll cost him nearly $20,000, and it could happen to you.
there's the pipe.
The pipe that caused the problem in front of his home, more than 100 years old.
1909.
So it is over 100.
That's the installation date.
104 years old.
There are enough issues with this system that crews are digging holes like this just about every day to deal with problems.
It's only getting worse. We're only having more and more sewers reach that 100-year age and begin to fail.
Last year, the Bureau of Environmental Services reported 180 sanitary overflows in Portland. That's raw sewage seeping into basements or coming up through manholes.
You've got more of a basement backup problem on the inner east side.
As you can see, we got severe exposed aggregate and root intrusion here.
And they say crumbling sewers cause about one sinkhole every month.
Basically, this is a transporter on wheels. It's powered.
We were there as crews sent a camera down under to see how bad this problem is.
Makes it easier because it gives you eyes in the side, under the ground.
Crumbling pipes, as we soon saw for ourselves. 2 large holes in this line in southwest Portland. The crew prepared and inserted a new liner,
Right now we are looking at the end of the bladder.
basically making a new pipe, closing the holes. A lot of sewers have been replaced, but many more are reaching that 100-year-old breaking point. The city has gone from spending $10 million a year on replacement work to a plan of spending $20 to $25 million a year over the next few years. All of it costing you.
In the public's mind, I'm not sure that they see the need to spend more money and have rates keep going up.
Sewer rates have gone up 247% in the last 13 years. Portland has the 3rd highest sewer rates in the country, and another rate hike is already proposed.
The water and sewer bureaus have had misguided priorities for the last 10 years.
While water and sewer are run by different bureaus, critics point to money the Bureau of Environmental Services has spent on things besides pipes in the ground, like land acquisition.
They've been pumping millions of dollars into city commissioners' pet projects that could have been spent on replacing aging infrastructure.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome.
It's spending newly elected Mayor Hales has also been critical of, spending he says he's changing by proposing to move funding for things like street sweeping, planting trees, and decorative fountains to the general fund.
Do you think that rate increase would still be necessary had that spending not happened in the past?
Oh, yeah, that rate increase is largely driven by capital investments in the systems, big, expensive new reservoirs, pipes.
We're all shocked by the rates, but with a 100-year-old or more system, we shouldn't be surprised that it costs a lot of money to upgrade it.
Devlin says he's frustrated with what he's had to deal with, but doesn't blame anyone.
Soon it'll be behind us, everything but the scar in my wallet.
In Portland, I'm Chris Woodard for KOIN 6 News. We all do it every day in one way or another. Use water, drink water, watch it swirl down the sewer, and watch it empty our wallets in the process.
Do you understand why there is frustration out there?
Yeah, and I think we've made some mistakes.
Customers here have been paying some of the highest sewer and water rates in the country. According to a 2012 study by American Water Intelligence, Portland has the 3rd highest sewer rates, the 8th highest water rates among 50 large cities, and critics blame politics and pet projects.
This is just dysfunction and mismanagement, and it's got to stop, and so we're ready to do something about it.
That something? An effort just announced to take away the city's control of water and sewer utilities, and put them in the hands of an independently elected board.
Ratepayers want a board that doesn't hide behind the thick stone walls of City Hall.
Those in favor say the new board is needed after controversial decisions by the city, using money collected from water bills to renovate the Rose Festival headquarters, build a model home to promote water conservation, and the Portland Loos.
If the concern is, let's get back to focusing on the core mission of my bureaus, I agree. The mayor and I have made a commitment to do so.
But just last week, we found Commissioner Nick Fish and the council approved $95,000 in grants for projects like ripping up this church parking lot because it floods, improving community gardens, and disconnecting downspouts from a church-owned building. The money coming from the Bureau of Environmental Services, which handles sewer and sewer rates, also under Fish's control.
Asphalt on a church parking lot, downspouts on a building owned by a church. Why is that something that ratepayers should be funding?
We have a program currently that incentivizes people to disconnect their downspouts, and that is actually, there's a logic to it.
The logic for all the projects, he argues, is the same. They're part of core environmental values and will save ratepayers money in the long run by helping to address stormwater runoff. Crayford calls it pork barrel spending.
Ratepayers are getting screwed. Ratepayers want accountability. Ratepayers want transparency.
Crayford says his plan for an independent board will offer that transparency. But the city and other critics say not so fast. They claim the board is a way to make water and sewer decisions in the shadows while no one is watching.
I think this proposal is the greatest threat to the Bull Run watershed in 115 years.
The evidence, critics claim, is right here. In this proposal, the current oversight duties of the city auditor do not apply to the water district, though they welcome her taking a look and say they will hire their own auditor. The board can order the council to take on debt whether the council thinks it's a good idea or not. And board members come up for election every 3 years, meaning some would fall during off-year elections, years when no city council members are up and less people typically vote.
We think it's really a Trojan horse for those people that think that this is going to make government more transparent and more accountable. We think it's going to have exactly the opposite effect, and all you need to look at is the people backing it.
Among those backing the idea, Portland Bottling Company.
The Bureau needs to be managed better, and it would be a win-win for everybody.
They say high water and sewer rates have cost them customers.
We're actually doing this as not just for ourselves, but for the entire city of Portland. The entire city of Portland has water rates that are too high.
The argument is there are ulterior motives here.
Is this public district just a way to give power to big water users, big industry businesses?
Have you read the initiative?
The initiative you put forward, the 26 pages?
Have you read this?
Mm-hmm.
You have. What do you think?
I'm asking you. It's not for me to decide.
Yeah, I think what you'll see is that the initiative sets forward a very straightforward system of zone elections.
The idea is one that would drastically change our government and could affect your water and sewer bills. Whether that means money in your pocket or cash down the drain is still up for debate. Chris Woodard, KOIN 6 News.